So, the Chrysos Awoo Championship is... I've had the most fun with gameplay-wise out of all the Honkai Star Rail events. It's not my favourite story-wise, of course, because there are some incredible events when it comes to story. The March one in the ZN show, when she got her swords. We get to give laxatives to Scott, and we also get to leak his browser history. Come on, that's funny. But, for gameplay-wise, I've really enjoyed this event. It's incredibly charming. It's actually quite fun to do. It requires some amount of focus while you do it. I wish there was more to it, though. I kind of wish this was one of the game modes that will eventually get a multiplayer variant. And also, maybe like stages you can beat that aren't just fights with the Chrysos. More ways to implement gameplay into it that extend what it does, rather than the simulation applying speed and time onto it of what the chimeras are going to do to attack each other. I think there's a lot of neat synergies here, and I think that if they had added more chimeras and more variety, they could make something genuinely really interesting to go back to every now and then. They could make it so it refreshes every now and then, so you lose access to your... Maybe make it so it's an optional refresh. There's maybe like seasonal events tied to it, where you have to go through fresh rounds of building teams. So you have to interact with it rather than just building up a permanently ridiculously powerful team. Kind of like how you have to do with Simulated/Divergent Universe and with the gameplay for the currency wars in order to get weekly bonuses. Apply something like that to this minigame and make it an actually permanently accessible thing, or make something akin to it that's like that. I think there's a lot of fun to be had here. It's charming, it's neat, it lets you do little bits and pieces. And other gameplay modes that I think would really benefit from this treatment would be the anniversary game of life almost that we got. I know that they'll potentially re-release that on the next anniversary, but if we had a permanent way to access that minigame and it was multiplayer, it'd genuinely be quite fun. My hope is long-term they'll provide gameplay opportunities for people to do when you actually finish your dailies. There'll be something more active and enjoyable about the game outside of the story content. And I think that they've definitely experimented enough where they could make steps in the right direction. For example, with Genshin, that has Genius Invocation, TCG. People wondered if Currency Wars was going to be the equivalent of that. It's not really, because you can't fight other players really in that game mode. It's a singular player experience. I think that the game would maybe benefit from something like that, and we'll see if they eventually implement something like that. Let me know what you think. I'd appreciate to hear your opinions. I think that the two game modes that we do have that let you do multiplayer interaction are fun enough, but I think more variety would be helpful. I don't think everyone likes the sort of games that they've referenced so far, so giving more variety would be a really good way. It'd almost make Star Rail able to be like an sort of variant of a party game. If you're able to invite your friends too, it'd be kind of crazy if you could play quote-unquote Game of Life or Monopoly with all your friends. It makes me wonder what they're aiming for with Honkai Next Sanima though as well, because that game does seem to cater more towards the multiplayer experience. The only way we'll find out is by waiting and seeing though. So until next time, if you liked this, I'd appreciate if you liked and subscribed. There are links in the description that I'd appreciate if you had a look at too. And until next time, have a good night, day, whatever time it is wherever you guys are in the world, and take care of yourselves. Goodbye guys.